Hello everybody and welcome back to the Galactic Armory. We have finally finished this 3-foot long Venator Class Star Destroyer, and man, I just love how it turned out. This is definitely my biggest printing project I've ever done, and it took me a lot longer to finish it than I would have liked, but this thing is just so big. This thing weighs over 10 pounds, took around 300 hours to fully 3D print, and then a bunch more hours to fully sand, smooth, paint, and assemble. But like I said, this thing is just so cool. It's so big. I'm gonna have to find a place to put it, either on like a table or maybe a big shelf. I don't really know where it's gonna go right now, but it's definitely gonna go somewhere. When I first had the idea to model this ship, I knew I wanted to go big just because, well, one, I was inspired by the Lego Star Destroyer that is around this scale, and I was having so much fun with that, but there wasn't really a Clone Wars option, so I wanted to make it. And that just kind of goes to show exactly how far 3D printing can go. I feel like we're really pushing the limits here of, you know, size, scale, and just going to show exactly how much you can do with a 3D printer. The best part is this thing is split into like 50 pieces, so I had to assemble it all, but it didn't take a very large printer to print all the pieces. It would have definitely been easier to print it in like 1, 2, 3 big pieces, but I don't know. I had a lot of fun putting it all together. It felt like a real project, and now that it's done, I just feel such an immense feeling of pride and accomplishment. Okay, that's enough about me ranting about it. Let me show you how I finished painting it.
So here's where we left the Venator last. It's fully painted, but it lacks a certain character to it. But today we're going to be adding that character, and I'm going to be showing you how I did it. Here we can compare the finished side to the unfinished side. That top side just has a lot more life to it. It feels like it's not so uniform, which I feel like adds a lot of character and a certain amount of realism to it. The technique itself is very simple. All we're going to need is a paintbrush, some black acrylic paint, and a moist paper towel. Now the technique involves just brushing on the black paint into the crevices and lines that are all over the ship, and then very quickly rubbing it off with a damp paper towel. Since all the lines are recessed, it's going to leave that black paint in those lines and give us a great detailing effect with not a lot of effort. You can see just how much life it adds to the ship. It gives it a good amount of detail, and this is a very, very simple way to do that. The great thing about this technique is that it can be applied as little or as much as you want. I kind of went towards the heavier side, that's why I didn't like dilute the paint at all. I didn't mix it with water or anything, but that's certainly something you can do if you don't want the black to be as apparent, or if you just want it to be a little bit lighter. I'm going to go over the entire top and bottom of the ship like this, and then we're going to move on to the next details. I decided not to do this technique on the sides just because there's so many details on the sides. I figured it would be really hard to get the black paint like washed off in there, and then I would just make the sides way too dark. So what I ended up doing was just airbrushing the sides in a dark gray. This will give it a little bit more color and kind of imply that the sides are a little bit darker from the shade or being recessed inside the ship. So now it's time to finally add the engines. I've been waiting for this part for a while. I just painted all the engines a dark gray and then airbrushed them with black just to give a little bit of weathering. Now there are a lot of engines on this, so I wanted to make sure that I got them all oriented in the right spot and that they were symmetrical. So I've got the right side already put in. It's not glued or anything, but I'll just use it as a reference for the other side. Now all of these engines have holes in them pre-cut for that 1/4-inch wooden dowel. That's going to give the engines a lot of support and make sure that they don't snap in half. So be sure and cut those now. I'm going to just use some E6000, put some on the inside of the hole where the dowel goes to keep the dowel in place, and then apply some to the outside registration key so that the engine stays in place. Once I got one side in place, getting the other side was very simple. Okay, now for the last part, we've got to attach the 8 turrets and the 2 command bridges on this thing. I've since updated the file to make the turrets interlock with the ship, so it should be a lot easier to assemble than what you're seeing here, because this is an older version that I had printed before I made those updates. But I'm just going to stick them on top with some E6000, put down some tape so that they don't move or fall over while the glue is curing, and then wait about 24 hours for that glue to finish curing. Same thing for the command bridges. They have interlocking tabs that'll help them fit together and guide them in place, but due to the geometry of the bridges themselves, that little detail that raises them in the air is pretty thin. Kind of seems like a design flaw to me, but we're just going to apply some E6000 on the bottom edge and then the inside edge as well. Hopefully that'll provide some extra support so that these things don't snap off if you accidentally bump up against it. Again, let the glue cure for 24 hours and you'll be good.
So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the build series. This is, like I said, my biggest project ever. I want to go bigger though. So let me know what ship I should do next. I would love to do an acclimator ship to this. It'd probably be around, I don't know, this size, but make it scale to the Venator and just start building like a little Clone Wars fleet. That would be ridiculous but awesome, and also really fun to show the different scales of ships in the Star Wars universe, since it's not always so obvious. Just a final reminder that you can find the files for this 3D print, as well as the 3D prints themselves, on my website, galacticarmory.net. This is a massive undertaking though, not for the faint of heart, so if you want to build this, make sure you're fully committed to it before you buy anything. That said, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next build series. Let me know what I should build next.